Good, Miss Pickles. How are you? Happy New Year, she. I'm also going to do a YouTube live on... Yes, Sonia, I remember you. I remember all of you guys. So, Sunday, I think is going to be... I don't even remember. Go to my YouTube channel and you'll see the date there. My New Year was perfect. Thank you, Irina. How was yours? So, first question. If we say dark side activated and we change our hair to jet black, is that a real life change? Well, look, because this is an assumptive world, and before I even start this live, if anything goes wrong with the connection, you can't hear me or anything, or I glitch or whatever stupid shit I do, I assume it's going to be good, but if something happens, just type in that you can't hear me so I can stop answering and start answering again. Now, so the first question, Manar, if we say dark side activated and we change our hair to jet black, is that a real life change? Well, this is an assumptive world, so if you assume that it's a real life change, yes, but you don't have to dye your hair black in order to do a total change. Because anything that you're going to do in your 3D or everything that you think you're going to do in your 3D, it will just serve as a placebo, right? What matters is the assumptions that you're going to have regarding the subject or regarding the outcome or what comes next, you know? So I don't think that it's about the dark side or anything, you know? It's not about... You can activate your dark side. I don't even know what you mean by dark side. Like not being a people pleaser, not kissing asses, that's what you mean by dark side? Well, you can activate your dark side without actually doing your hair, you know? Whenever I see my SP in person, I get so scared. Even in my imagination, she's still on a pedestal. Well, it's a good thing that you acknowledge the fact that she's on a pedestal. Now that you acknowledge the fact that she's on a pedestal, what you're gonna do is you're going to put yourself up there, because actually no one is on a pedestal. So even in manifestation, when we say something is on a pedestal, it's not that actually something could be on a pedestal or above you. It's just that you've set yourself lower. You've need in front of your creation. This stupid shit. Okay, whatever. Yeah, okay, whatever. Cares. Do your thing, TikTok. Oh, that's why I don't like TikTok anymore. You understand? So when you see the perfect way to not put your specific person or your desire on a pedestal is to understand that whatever it is, it comes from within you, right? It comes from you, your source of it. So as source, aren't you above and bigger? Of course you are. Hey Melanie, how are you? It says lost connection again. I don't really care. Can I have 1 million subscribers doing absolutely nothing? Well, yes, it doesn't require to do something in the 3D to obtain the 1 million followers, but the thing is that because we did manifest the 3D, you are going to do something, you know? So even you doing something is going to be the bridge of incidence of you obtaining that 1 million, whether it's uploading videos or I don't know, whatever, you know? So the thing is that whatever you're going to do is going to support your assumption of having the 1 million. In the end, you're going to have a 1 million subscribers, but you don't have to do something on purpose. Like you don't have to upload a video in order to have the 1 million subscribers. You don't have to pay promotion in order to have 1 million subscribers, you know? So you're not doing things towards the outcome. You assume the outcome, and then whatever happens will lead you to the outcome, you know? How can we stay in the state when we're emotionally affected by the 3D? Well, this is a good thing, because what I do teach you is to stay emotionally unaffected by the 3D. It's like, and I'm going to give you the best example. When you make a salad, this is like the food is my best example. When you make a salad and you ruin the salad because you've put too much vinegar in it. Like, are you emotionally affected by the fact that you've ruined your salad? Because you messed up in the 3D, you know? You put too much vinegar. You messed up in the 3D. You cannot be emotionally affected by the fact that you messed up your salad. You're going to continue. You're going to make a new salad, or you're going to choose a different kind of food. So staying in the state means staying in the state that everything is going to be okay. I'll still get my outcome without being affected by something that is irrelevant and something that you won't even remember tomorrow. Because my mantra is, and my motto is, why worry about the things that are going to resolve themselves anyway? Like, if something is meant to be forgot in a day, a week, then it's not worth suffering, you know? It's not worth suffering for it in the now moment. Why would I suffer for something that I'm pretty sure I'll forget in a week? You know, it's not worth. So that's how you stay in the state, by understanding that what happens in the 3D, it's not final. It's not, and first of all, not treating the 3D as your enemy. You're still treating the 3D as your enemy. You know, that's why you're affected by it. Because you think it's a power, a force outside of you, therefore it can hurt you, it can do things that you don't like. But 3D is your creation, it's your playground, it's your baby, you know? So don't be emotionally affected. Are you emotionally affected in a movie? Well, unless you don't think it's a movie. Hey Melanie, it's been a long while since we last spoke. Hey Sonia, so I got back with SP, but yet again, an on and off situation, because you are on and off with yourself. You are on and off with thinking whether you're gonna have it or not. You're still looking in the 3D, checking. So if he doesn't reply to a message, then you draw the conclusion and you say, that's it, I'm still not gonna get my manifestation, you know? That's why it's on and off, because you judge the 3D based on, you judge the circumstance, and you think that, hey, this circumstance right here tells me that I'm not gonna get my manifestation. Hey Mark, how do you get rid of the idea of out there, especially continuity? People change, move, evolve. Well, people don't change, they don't move, they don't evolve. You change, move, and evolve. Therefore, that's why you get the reflection of people changing, moving, and evolving. People out there cannot actually do anything. You're the one doing it to them, through them, you know? You're doing it all by yourself. They're not thinkers in your reality. So you get rid of the idea out there by acknowledging yourself as the only thinker. You don't allow yourself to accept any other idea. Because if you bother to do reverse engineer, you'll see that you are indeed the only thinker, you know? Hey plant man. Hey Nadia Haj, I think. Hey Igor Bistarnov, thank you. That SP moved out, we kept seeing each other for a little while, but now he's not reaching out anymore. I was hurting so much, so I found another SP. He treats me like a queen, but I still want my old SP. Oh, so first of all, congratulations for manifesting yourself another SP. But the thing is that you're going to have to be aware that you're in charge, so that you don't repeat the same story you repeated with the old SP. Now, you want the old SP. This is good. Like, you can have the old SP, but you have to change yourself. You have to change the attitude you have towards the idea of being with the old SP. You have to change your idea that you have about your old SP. Thank you, AT. I'm watching you from Colombia. Thank you so much, Karen. I don't know if my old SP heard about my new SP. I don't think a guy wants the girl after a new guy. Well, this is not an assumption that would suit you. So if you read what you've wrote, you'll see that you've set yourself a failure. Because you do write things, not only you, like, you guys write things, and you don't understand that in that sentence, you have set yourself a failure. You don't think a guy wants a girl after a new guy. Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't he? Otherwise, people will just be monogamous from birth until death. It's not like, if that were the case, no one would ever have another relationship after a breakup, right? How do you cure a physical or mental condition? Well, you cure it by understanding your source of it. It manifested because you're source of it. Now, I'm not saying you manifested it on purpose, and I don't want you to blame you, but by you understanding your source of it, therefore you can understand that it doesn't exist by itself. It doesn't make its rules. It doesn't make its own rules. It cannot get to stick there once you decide it is going to be gone. So, thank you, Daniela. Oh, I got a rose. Oh, so amazing. So, you don't cure it, you unmanifest it, or you manifest it away, you know? That's what you do. You're not going to, because even saying that you can cure it, it's the fact that you think it's going to stick forever, and then you fight against it because you're maybe probably equal in power, or that it's way more powerful than you, that this is the condition or whatever is more powerful than you. So you understand your source, you accept that you're the only creator of everything that you encounter in your reality, and then you give the command. Then you choose again. How do I keep dating my current SP and still manifest my original SP? I miss him. Well, and I think it's the same with, I want to marry my SP and still have options. How can I stay in the same state and to manifest? Well, the fact that you're dating your current SP has nothing to do with you manifesting the other SP. Even the fact that your current SP is treating you as a queen and the way you say he's treating you, it's a good thing, because what you get is you're going to get like a good mood from it, and say the same way that this SP treats me is the same way the other SP treats me. Like, you won't find any more excuses for why the other SP cannot treat you any more different than this SP treats you. But if you think your old SP is more special or it's more difficult to manifest, then you're going to be manifesting bullshit. I want to manifest my SP and still have options. Well, look, the good thing about being God and being the operant power is the fact that you can manifest marriage and still have options. So how do you stay in the same state? What do you mean in the same state? You are going to be in a state that says, I'm married and I can still have any other options. I am polyamorous, therefore I have this state. I embody this state. And I also assume that my SP is very good with it. She doesn't get to say anything. She doesn't get to say a word. So that's how you stay in the same state. You know? You don't think that marriage is going to end your possibilities of having other options. How can you speed it up? What, Coco? Did you write another question up? I didn't see. How can you speed your manifestation up? By understanding time is not... it's not how to call it, linear. There is no speeding up. Manifestation is always instant. So you speed it up by accepting the fact that it's yours, and by not finding any more excuses for why it's not yours. Is praying to God and asking for what I want against manifesting as I don't live in the end? Well, look, praying to God, well, if you're saying to a religious God, look, I'm not against it. Like, do whatever feels best for you in the scenario where you do use the prayer to God as a placebo to make you feel more safe. So you will be manifesting results if you use this idea as praying to God and God being by my side, and therefore I'm gonna get everything I want because I pray to God and I believe in the prayer. Therefore you're going to have a deep-rooted belief in prayer, which is going to act as a placebo, but it's not the prayer that is going to manifest. It's your belief that if you say a prayer, things will manifest. So it's not against manifesting. You're still going to manifest, but you're going to be in a bubble of reality that says, I pray to God, therefore I'm going to have the support. But you're still going to be God, playing the role of a God praying to another God. You know, I know you understand me. My SP said we would meet up, but then canceled and we are in no contact, refuses to respond. Your SP said they would meet up with you, but then canceled and we are in no contact, refuses to respond. Well, first of all, you shouldn't care what they do. You shouldn't care what they say. You should remain in your position and in your decision. Now, whatever happens in the 3D, you shouldn't care because, first of all, it's irrelevant. Like, what happened an hour ago, it's irrelevant because in an hour from now, everything can turn 180, just if you decide that it will go 180. So it doesn't really matter. You should stick more to understanding that you are source. So every one of you guys should be more in the awareness that, you know what, I'm source, and then it's going to be way easier. That's why on YouTube I made videos as you're the boss, they are the employee, you are this, they are that. Because if you understand that, hey, I'm the boss, then it's going to be way more easier to command your reality, to command your things without actually feeling forced to get into a certain feeling, into a certain emotion, into a certain thing. You're going to command it like a boss, like you're not going to overthink, you're not going to overanalyze your things, you know? So stop doing anything plant man in the 3D and rest in the assumption that you're in charge, therefore everything is going to go your way. I have so much resistance that my original SP will give me what I want. It feels impossible. Well, now you have to raise this, and I'm going to do a video on YouTube where it says that just do factory reset, okay? So this live is going to go on YouTube. I'm going to upload it as soon as I finish it. I'm going to upload it on YouTube, and then I'm going to make another video that would be about factory resetting yourself. Because factory resetting yourself means erasing everything that you've ever known about the idea, the scenario, the person that was in the idea, in the scenario. So you say, it feels impossible, so factory reset yourself. Treat your old SP as a new stranger, as a new person, without keeping anything from the past. Hey, Melissa. We were always situationship. Well, that's what you assume, Irina. If you're not, like, I really want you to sit and read again what you're stating, because you say we were always a situationship, and see how you mold your reality through the statements that you do. Okay? How can we convince ourselves to believe in having? Did I say hey, Melissa? I'm sorry, I don't did I say hey? I said now. How can we convince ourselves to believe in having our desire? Do we repeat? To reprogram our subconscious mind. Well, look, Joanna, our subconscious mind is already reprogrammed. It doesn't need reprogramming. It's already reprogrammed. Hey, Simone, our subconscious mind is already reprogrammed because there's nothing to reprogram. You would be very limiting yourself. Hey, Daniela. You would be I'm so sorry. It just... my comments just blooped. You would be limiting yourself, thinking that you have only one path, only one mind, and then you have to reprogram that mind in order. No, you are everything. You are infinite. So your subconscious mind doesn't rule the show. It doesn't run the show. You run the show, okay? So get rid of the assumption that your subconscious mind runs the show, it runs you, it doesn't run you. Now, how can you convince yourself to believe in having your desire? Well, it would be you setting the foundation of you being the only source. And you do that by putting in the work and discovering, looking at your life, analyzing your life, not in a way of blaming yourself or bullshitting yourself, but analyzing, how did I create it? Was it really me behind all my life, or was it something else? So you're going to take accountability and realize that I'm the only source. So when you understand you're the only source, you won't need to convince yourself. You don't need to convince yourself. All the shit that I have, I didn't convince myself at all. I didn't even care. Like, I just said it anyways. I didn't try to induce myself into a certain feeling or try to repeat it over and over again. I said it's done and it's done. Because I do have proof that I fucked myself so bad in the ass that I know that if I continue having the same thinking and the same mindset and the same mentality, I'm not going to get good results. So I didn't have anything to lose. I shifted my mentality and my whole 3D shifted. Okay? So you don't repeat, you understand your source, and that's that. Hey, Miss Pickles, sometimes I forget to immerse in the 3D, but returning gets easier. Do you remind yourself a lot? Well, yes, I do remind myself. I wouldn't say a lot. It becomes easier as time passes by. I do have in the back of my head, in the back of my mind, the fact that I'm in charge. So it has become like in the back of my mind that I'm in charge, and I have to be a little careful at what thoughts I accept and what thoughts I'm going to entertain. I don't immerse myself in the 3D anymore. I have reached a level where I don't immerse myself in the 3D anymore. I don't immerse myself in my thoughts anymore. So, yeah. Well, returning gets easier. That's important. That's good. If you're returning to the knowing that, you know what, I'm in charge, nothing to worry about, nothing to be anxious about. Yes, and because we are infinite and we are everything, of course the thoughts are going to come, right? But you're not going to be afraid of them anymore, and you're not going to choose them anymore. I deactivated my Insta because it hurt so much to see him going out and look good. Well, yeah. Irina, until you understand your source, you're not going to, like, it's whatever you do in the 3D, even if you deactivate your Insta, or I don't know what you're gonna do, it's not going to get you the results you want, because you don't acknowledge yourself as source. Do you like my background? It's a fucking universe. Whatever. It's kind of cringe. Isn't it cringe? Who cares? I love it. Hey Gardenia, I saw that you're Suarua. How are you? Hey Stacy. Thank you, Daniela. I bought your course. Thank you for everything. Which one? This one? Yeah, by the way, I made a course. Maybe some of you know it. Maybe some of you don't know it. It's a mindset course, video course. Get your SP addicted to you. Well, not only your SP, your health, your money, whatever you want. Now, should you leave when your partner is entitled to unsafe sex? I keep manifesting for respect. What do you mean entitled? Should you leave? Well, about taking action in the 3D in this matter, well, normally you would leave, because your action of leaving would be supported by the assumption that I don't want this. If you stay, it would be like something like I'm staying because I'm afraid not to lose him, so I'm going to accept the circumstance not to lose him. But it's not about should I live or should I stay. It's about should I change my mindset around this thing, or should I continue in manifesting more of this respect. And it's not that you're manifesting for respect. Thank you, Claudia. It's not that you're manifesting for respect. You're manifesting for you having everything that you want. Okay? So it's not only respect, it's you being and having everything that you want, which includes, that's why sometimes I do suggest to you, when things are a little like, when you tend to overthink or over detail yourself, go general. A general assumption is going to take care of everything. It's going to take care of the little details. It's going to take care of, like, when you say, I always get what I want. This implies you're going to get the relationship, you're going to get the dates, you're going to get the flowers, the good sex, the everything. You're going to get the respect. You're going to get the job, the money, the health, I don't know, the car for your parents, whatever you want, you know? So this would be better because you wouldn't sit. You don't have the time to. I'm not saying that you don't have the time, but you're too busy. You're God. You're not gonna sit around manifesting little details. So for you, I don't know why you say they are entitled. They're not. No one in your reality is entitled. You're the only one entitled. So hype yourself up and don't accept bullshit like this. In the when I say don't accept bullshit like this, I mean don't entertain the idea that bullshit like this could happen to you. You know? No one could ever fuck with you. Like in that kind of thing. Like everyone is too afraid to disappoint you. They wouldn't dare do it, you know? Yes, my old SP feels like a king because of how much I love him. No, look, Irina, love has nothing to do with making them kings. I love my SP, but there's a line that needs to be drawn. Love has nothing to do with pedestalizing them in a bad way, because when you say I see him like a king, it's like you're saying he's unattainable, he's invincible, he's impossible to manifest because I love him. I love my I was gonna say my wife, but yeah. I love my SP, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to imagine her a cruel queen that is unattainable for me. Okay, so love has nothing to do with pedestalizing them, you know, in a bad way. So I would say, why don't you worry more about you and your self-image and the attitude you have towards yourself, and leave them aside, because this is not about them. This is about you. It's not about them being kings or queens. It's about you guys being king and queens. All the rest will follow. As much as you want to hype them and make them kings and queens, they will never be king and queens in your reality. They'll just be an actor playing the role of a king or a fucking queen, you know? You are. Does our ASP have a life outside of us? No. What are they doing when they aren't interacting with them? When you aren't interacting with them? Well, right now my ASP is doing what I assume she's doing. If I don't assume she's doing anything, I imagine that she's hanging in air waiting for my next command. No, they don't have a life outside of us because they are your creation. So how can they have a life outside of you? They don't. They are in your reality. They are in your theater scene. They are in your theater. They're actors playing in your movie. So no, they don't have life outside of you because they don't have the free will. What free will means, it means that they don't have the capacity to manifest anything, because manifestation comes from desire. Desire comes from thought. So when you assume for them, basically, and you're proven right, if you do reverse engineer, you're going to see that they behaved as Muppets. Therefore, it's going to be very obvious that they never had desires in the first place. That means they never had thoughts of their own in the first place. So, because it's kind of like a cycle, it's thought, desire, manifestation, and whatever. So it's a cycle. So they lack the most fundamental element. They lack desire. They lack thought. You know, lack, not like, lack. So if they lack that, the whole cycle is broken. Therefore, they don't have free will. Will means intention, the intention to manifest. So they don't have free will. That means they don't have a life outside of you. No one is separate from you. That means what they are doing, what you say they're doing. Mine is looking at my picture, adoring me. If he learns I'm with someone new, he thinks I moved on. Well, he will think whatever you say he'll think. In order to maintain your manifestation, we need to erase our limiting beliefs and work on it. No, because erasing your limiting beliefs would be like you starting and erasing every little crumb of thought. So you're not erasing your limiting beliefs, you are keeping the identity, a new identity. Every identity comes with their own beliefs. Okay? You don't work on it. Can you explain how to revise past like traumas or difficult time to help us manifest? Well, actually revision is you stepping into a new identity that never had trauma in the first place. That's what revision is. Can you guys hear me? It still says lost connection. Who the fuck cares? I'm manifesting it works. I think you're hearing me, right? I don't see anyone complaining about not hearing me. Can I get an answer? Okay, thank you. Okay, it's perfect. Thank you, guys. I got 2 answers. It's enough. Thank you. Thank you so much. You see, I'm even checking the 3D. But knowing that even if I get an answer like, no, we can't hear you, I'll just assume you'll guys hear me then, and then you'll say, yes, we can hear you. So it's not wrong to check the 3D, but not from the viewpoint that you're checking the 3D to see, is it working? And then when you see that it's not working, then you start to panic and you think it's the end of the world. Of course we're going to check the 3D, but you check the 3D from the assumption that everything is going to go my way. We are born in the 3D. We created the 3D. Of course we will want to live in the 3D. Otherwise, why the fuck did we create the 3D in the first place, right? We would, I don't know, sit on a couch and daydream all day long. So it's normal to check the 3D, but not from the question victim mode, but rather from even if I'm shown something else, I know it's irrelevant because I'll still get my shit. So this is the perfect mindset. You understand? I just presented you the perfect mindset. So if I'm with someone and he goes out one night, why did you manifest him to go out one night? What mentality should I have so he doesn't cheat? Look, my SP goes out on nights, she has her girlfriends, okay? It doesn't mean that she's gonna go and cheat. So that means that you're afraid that them going out, it's them cheating on you, but they can just go out and not cheat, you know? So the mentality that you should have is that nothing bad can happen to me, because even if your SP goes out, it's not like it's a sentient person, a sentient brain capable of making decisions going out. Is just a hologram, is just a creation, is just a version of them, is just a shadow of you going out. They're not actually manifesting going out, and they're not actually at a party meeting new women or cheating on you. You understand? That's the mentality you should have. That I'm source, he's unable to manifest anything, so why am I afraid that he's gonna cheat when he doesn't get the permission, he doesn't get to form his own thoughts in his head, therefore he cannot make the decision to cheat? How can we not react to circumstances that will occur in the future? Well, how can we not react to the circumstances that will occur in the future? So you've drawn the line, you've set the outcome, circumstances are going to occur in the future. You're sure about it, you're done, you've decided that they are going to go in the future, that you're going to be hurt. So you don't react to the circumstances that will occur in the future because you know your end. Why do you care? Why do you deal with this kind of circumstances? It's like when you watch a movie, when you watch a season, right? Let's just say, for example, Dexter. Okay, I'm gonna give an example. I don't know. It's the easy. Maybe everyone knows Dexter. So you've watched all the movies, you've watched season 1, you've watched season 2. In the last episode of season 3, let's just say you've watched it in replay. Well, you know it's going to happen. You know that what happens in season 1 doesn't matter, in season 2 doesn't matter, because you know the end. You've seen the last episode, so you know the end. So when things happen in the previous season, you don't really care. So that's how you react to circumstances, because they are in replay. What you're viewing in the 3D is in replay, actually. The original script, the original circumstance first happened within you, and what you're doing in the 3D, you're interacting with the movie in replay, right? So the 3D circumstance is a replay of the original movie that happened in your mind first. So how can you be shocked when after you've entertained this idea for 2 months or 3 months and then you view it in the 3D and then you're shocked that it happened to you, like it's some kind of fucking surprise or some kind of, I don't know, out of thin air scenario that you've never thought of it. So that's why you don't react, because it's in replay. Why the fuck do you care? You know how the movie's gonna end. Right? Also, SP is going on a holiday with 3P. They're not actually going. They don't exist outside of you. They're not actually going. They're not actually having fun. You in your idea, you in your mind live an experience where they do go, they do have fun, but to be honest, they never had the capacity to decide on themselves. So no one gets to decide, they don't have free will, and you're in charge. Why is it so hard? I want a new job, but I don't want to send curriculum. How can I believe that I'm going to achieve? You don't have, belief is not necessary. Belief is not necessary. Just decide you're gonna get the job, and whatever happens, you don't care. Something can happen. A friend can come, a neighbor can come. You can walk on a street and bump into someone that is going to offer you a job. You don't have to believe. You just have to nothing. You don't have to do anything, you know? He went on a party and I found out months later. Well, maybe, Fabiana, he never went to the party, and you finding out is you manifesting that circumstance out of thin air. He never ever went. Yesterday is long gone. Yesterday doesn't even exist anymore. It's air. It's air, you know? Tomorrow it's also air. So whatever happens, you define it. How to not react to the 3D when we don't feel respected and it's opposite to our manifestation? Well, I think I gave you the answer, Cruz. You react to the 3D because people are not your enemy. Your SP is not your enemy. Your 3D is not your enemy. Your circumstance is not your enemy. You react the same way you would react if you were the script writer of that script. How would you react? SP got distant before holidays and canceled New York Eve on me. Since then I'm mad and he doesn't reach out. Well, you're fooled by the 3D thinking it gets to decide. Love you, by the way. Had to stop looking at SP content after breakup. Love. The God State. Thank you, Asimone. When we drop the old avatar, what old avatar? Who is Avatar? The movie Avatar, the blue ones? Do we step in a new one when we change ourselves? What avatar? Identity? You are a new identity every second, but you're not aware of it. The changing of identity happens invisible. It's not like you step into a new vessel. Another question. I want my boyfriend's boss give me him a rise or more respect. How can I do that? You assume he's gonna do it. You command him to do it as the boss that you are. You're gonna give my boyfriend new money. You're gonna give my boyfriend a rise. You're gonna respect him. What about appearance change in 3D, not thing change in 3D? What appearance change? Decide you're gonna have it. Look, it's like when I got my hair and I had a buzz cut. So I had a buzz cut like 1.5 months ago. And I always had decided that my hair grows insanely fast. So I had a buzz cut and then I regretted it and I say, oh, it's just hair is gonna grow back. And I left it at that and I said, oh, my hair grows so fast. I just decided it's going to go so fast and I left it at that. And someone commented on YouTube and they said like the hair growth in a month, it's spectacular. And then I said, oh yeah, I did get my hair grown. So you're not even going to realize that your manifestation came within, until someone mentions it, okay? So that's how you do it. But if you say, well, I have muscles, and then you go in the mirror and you say, I don't have muscles, you're treating the reflection or you're treating the circumstance as the final point. Like nothing is working. You're throwing your hands in the air. You've drawn your conclusion. Nothing is working. Fuck this. Manifestation is bullshit. Hey, Claudia. How do you know that you are the operant power? At some point, it's actually in front of you that you cannot deny it anymore. It's so in front of you that you cannot deny it. Well, if you don't accept it, you're going to invent excuses that it's a coincidence, or that this is meant to be, or that the universe wanted it so, or that the God wanted it so, or that other people. But it's actually your thoughts being reflected, your thoughts being manifested in the 3D. And you get this kind of proof daily. But if you are ignorant, you're not going to understand it. So I knew that I'm the only papa. I think I know who you are. plant man, I think I know who you are. Are you Antonio? I think you're Antonio from YouTube. The questions sound very, very familiar. How do you make a problem go away in the 3D? By knowing that it's going to resolve itself. You don't even have to do, like, the best assumption is it's going to go away by itself. That's it. Hey CJ, what do you think about theta waves? I don't even know what they are. I don't even give a fuck, to be honest. So I don't think anything about the theta waves. Thank you, Claudia. Hey Dan. So there's essentially nothing to fix. Exactly. Hey CJ, it's been a long time on TikTok. Happy to see you live again. Hey Issa, long time no see. Hey, it's VM. How to get your SP to reach out instantly? Well, when you have this kind of questions, I would ask you, is the manifestation of your SP more important than you acknowledging yourself as God? Because many of you would rather sell the idea that I'm God down to the toilet. You wouldn't even give a fuck. Like, you wouldn't even bother yourselves with understanding your source, with understanding how powerful you are. You care more about how can I manifest my SP, how can I manifest contact, blah, 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 blah. You're not even bothered in taking the work, like, okay, CJ says this, another creator says this, like another YouTube, another manifestation coach says this. Let me see, is this true? Like, would you guys bother like a week, like not focusing on anything anymore, and just a week trying to understand whether you're the creator or not? Doing reverse engineer, looking in the back and seeing whether did you or did you not manifest all the bullshit in your life, and also the beautiful stuff. I'm not saying you manifested only bullshit. All my friends become rich and meet the love of their life, and I'm here just watching. Well, yes, Anna, my dog is okay. Why not? They're inside. Oh, because they don't bark? Yeah. And it's not one dog, there are 2 dogs. I have 2 dogs. All my friends become rich and meet love. Well, first of all, when you see this kind of circumstance and you feel kind of jealous, you tend to feel like you're the guest in someone else's world, or that you're the guest in this 3D world and that everyone is a creator. Well, they only are rich and meet the love of their life because you're showing to yourself that it's very much possible. But if you're using this as again to self-sabotage yourself and say, you see, they get it, I don't get it, why do they get it, I don't get it. So you're still using this as an excuse for it to draw the conclusion that you'll never get it, instead of using it as, it's me, I manifested them to have it, therefore if I manifested them to have it, of course I'm going to manifest it for myself also. For a while I accepted I'm the source and stayed in the state, but he didn't come, only like stories. Well, it was more, your SP, what he did was more important than you accepting the fact you're source. Is getting your, get your SP addicted to you the same as the villain, is the same course, I renamed it, yes. I renamed the course, it's the villain course, it's the same. That's why I kept the photograph, so that people will understand that it's the same. How to change your mindset when life keeps bearing you down. Life doesn't do anything to you. By taking a step back and understanding you created the life. You can't make you cannot make sun out of a storm unless you put yourself in a safe place first. So when you're in the midst of a storm, you don't start creating sun, right? First of all, what you're going to do, you're going to draw yourself back from the midst of the storm, which means you're going to take a step back. You're going to disregard, ignore what happens, like you're going to put it on pause for a little while, and then you're going within yourself, understanding whether you're source or not, you know. What the fuck am I saying? Whether you're source or not. Understanding your source, and then you're going to create the sun. What did I even say? Well, because most of you don't believe your source, so that's why. I've been living a source for a while. All I got was a hi text after 12 months. Then he blocked me again. Well, you've been living as a source for a while, but were you his source or were you just source? Have you acknowledged yourself as being his source also? What is contained in the course? I think I also answered this question on YouTube. So what is contained in the course? It's a video course. It's me talking to you guys, explaining your God, how to manifest love, health, relationships, money, and how it's different between course and a private coaching. Well, you cannot talk to me through the course. It's recordings, and then you buy it and then you download it and you have it on your phone. It's my mindset, so therefore it keeps you. Many people that bought it just said, I just put the videos, it keeps me in the state of being God, it keeps me this. So it's basically you have it on your phone and then you watch it and you apply it over and over again. It's a mindset. You borrow the mindset, you buy the mindset, and then you go think from the mindset. Now the private coaching, it's 1 hour. Now the course is 4 hours. I don't even know how, but the private coaching is 1 hour. And you get to ask me questions. Not that the answers will change. I often say I never lack anything, but I'm missing from everything and everyone since I'm the source. You're missing. So they don't exist because I can see he's in Paris from his Insta stories. Well, you created him in Paris. You also create his Insta stories because you have the assumption he exists and makes their own decisions. So you manifested yourself seeing the stories. You've manifested the stories. Does your SP knows your strict mindset? Well, my SP doesn't have the capacity to be aware of anything. Therefore, she can't draw an opinion. Any opinion that she would draw, it's me drawing the opinion for her. You know? It's not a surprise. Whatever she says or does, it's not a surprise to me because I know I put the words in her mouth and thoughts in her head. What should I do? Is it possible to travel back in time to a specific date? Know yourself as source. Is it? In my opinion, it is. But is it for you? What should I do now? Manifest contact with him or decide he will be back to me and not do anything? Decide he'll be back to you and not do anything. Should we keep our focus on end with emotionally affected or should we deal with emotions regulate? What emotions? What regulate? When you've had your car, do you have an emotion towards your car in your garage? I don't think you have an emotion towards your car in the garage. And no, don't tell me it's different. Do you have an emotion? Okay. It's not the same thing, CJ. It's a fucking car. It's a fucking object. Okay. Do you have an emotion towards the mother you've had for 30 years? Do you have an emotion towards the father you've had for 30 years? Do you have an emotion towards your brother, your sister? Do you have an emotion towards your friend that you've had for 10 years? You don't have an emotion towards the things that you already have. Why do you think that you have to induce yourself in a kind of emotion in order to manifest? Thank you for the roses. In order to manifest something. You don't. So keep your focus on being the boss and everything being okay. So when there is silence in the 3D, what do you think and say? When there is silence in the 3D, honestly, I just put myself on Netflix and enjoy the silence. I'm not even bothered. I don't even observe the silence in the 3D. How can there be silence in the 3D? Like no movement? Why would you even care? Why is that your main focus? Chasing movement, chasing results. When you chase, you don't acknowledge yourself. You are movement. You are the silence. You are the manifestation. How can you believe others don't exist and don't experience life? Well, test yourself. When you assume something and they behave as a little muppet, when I assume they live there and they do this and they do that, how can they have an experience of life if they are not separate from me? If I say you're gonna go there, then how can they experience life. Are you in their body? Are you aware? You're not in their body. So if you're the only awareness, and you can observe yourself being aware of something, if they would experience life, it means that you would be in their body experience. Can you experience something from within their body? Now, don't tell me, oh, they said this, they said that. Well, it's your manifestation. If you assume they're gonna say that I didn't like the party, they're gonna say I didn't like the party. Where's the experience in life in that? Where is their opinion? Where is the originality in their opinion? When you assume they have a 3P and they go ahead and have a 3P, where's the originality there? They're not even original. They're just parroting back to you whatever you assume. When you say they're not happy with the third party and then they leave the third party, where's the originality in that? How can they experience life if you're the one mastering their life? When they behave like Muppets. But do we do anything in the 3D? Because if I assume I'm always P. Oh, Irina, you don't have to do anything in the 3D. Does consciousness know what you mean? Huh? My SP is exactly how I heard. Does it know what I mean? Well, why do you assume consciousness is something outside of you? Consciousness is like something outside of me. It's a ball of light. Did it understand me? Consciousness is like a fucking robot. Did the consciousness understand me? You are consciousness. What do you mean doesn't know what you mean? Of course it knows what you mean. You are consciousness. It might know what you mean even before you say it, because you are everything. Don't separate it. What do you mean consciousness is not separate from you? You are consciousness. How can I make SP to reach out to me now? Understand you're his boss and he doesn't have free will. I was going so hard with everybody's my servant. X3P gave apologies and said she got karma and invited me to a luxury dinner. Nice. So when we hear other people saying they want to manifest something, do we also decide that? Yes. Like no one can manifest anything in our reality, right? Yes. Should I just decide he's coming back to me and not do anything in the 3D? Yes. I said yes to decide he's coming back and don't do anything in the 3D. Activating Insta doesn't have anything to do with your manifestation. So do you constantly have to think of what to put in her heads, or go general and chill? Go general and chill. I'm not dealing with details. I'm way too lazy for that. I don't have to deal with details. Now imagine if you had to. That's the beauty of your subconscious mind, and that's also the beauty of consciousness. Well, imagine you having to consciously manifest the breath of 10,000 billion people. That's the good thing about being God. You don't have to do it. That's why you have to live your own life and let your take care of it. What if he's not reaching out because there's an understanding? What if you're assuming against yourself? Thank you, Simone. What happened? Something. I got a little tiny bullshit puzzle. Irina, we just said, Irina, stop writing. Irina, should I just decide he's coming back to me and not do anything in the 3D? And I said, yes. Stop writing, what if he's not reaching out, like someone gossiped? No, just stop that. How did I create my life and what they are doing in my current 3D circumstance? Well, ask yourself, what were your thoughts? Hey, Rabia, do you have advice for moving to another country? Assume you're gonna go there. Decide you're gonna go there. I know you are a plant man. I wonder when you are going to apply. Now you've got the questions directly from me answered. Now apply. Irina. But they have pictures where they saw their lives. You're denying your power. I'm not gonna answer anymore. But they have pictures. I don't care. Why don't you assume their past was different? You'll see their past changing. It's like you're trying to convince yourself you're not God. And they are. Maya came back to apologize, but I can't convince her to make our relationship. Well, you don't convince her in the 3D, BR. You can't convince her to make your relationship. You don't do that. Why would you convince? It's like you're talking to the shadow on the wall. Can you convince your shadow on the wall to do something? No, you have to do it. You have to do it yourself. You have to command it yourself. Every time I'm pissed at a man, I decide to have a small. Since I'm source, it has to happen. If there's a pandemic, I know, Melissa, you did it once. I intended for his P to be into me and we spent a week together on a work trip. Perfect, sweet Barbie. Should I call an old friend? No contact, assuming that it will go well. No waiting for them to do it. Well, Azora, when you command someone to do something, you're not going to wait them to do. You're going to know they're going to do it. So, do you want to do it? Or do you want to... Why don't you just command it and see what happens? What do you do if you struggle with feeling or... I decide they're gonna say different. Also, so you are saying we can change the past of people in our realities. Yes, I say. Hey, Kalinka. How many hours have I been live? "59 minutes. Hey, Vicky. Guys, this is all for today. It's been an hour. I'm going to re-upload this live on YouTube, so you're gonna go ahead and watch it. I love you all. I'm gonna see you two guys today. I don't know when. Manifest me to do another live, okay? This is all for today. Thank you so much for being here. If anyone wants, come on Sunday on YouTube. And that's it. Bye-bye.